Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch list for Wednesday, November 30th, 2011. Let's take a look at what happened on Tuesday, some of the indexes, sectors, and some stocks. So we pushed up into the area of the 50-day moving average. We tested the 10-day moving average, and the entire range of the day was put in the first hour, and then we just oscillated back and forth and closed near the lows. Now, volume near the lows, but I don't want to make it out to be like it was a real bearish day. It wasn't. Breadth was, I think, minus, net negative or net decliners, 130 net decliners over advances. So, I mean, it was basically flat. And volume pulled in on both the NYSE and NASDAQ side. Now, volume is starting to pick up, which is nice to see. Usually the month of December, I know a lot of people talk about the seasonalities and, we're going to go up into Christmas. So, I mean, that's great, but, and I don't really know how valid that argument is. A lot of people, they love to quote the seasonalities, but they leave out certain factors. And more on that probably in a later video. It's not really the place for me to get into the idiosyncrasies or whatever you want to call it of seasonalities and the trends. I mean, I do watch them. I do pay them the respect that they are due, but I don't sit there and go, we have to do this or we always do this. I mean, certain super gurus were pounding the table. Oh, we always go up the day after Thanksgiving. I mean, it just doesn't, no such thing as always in this market. All right. So anyway, but what I was saying is that whether we go up into Christmas or not, or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or whatever you're celebrating, December is usually a good trading month. Okay, there's usually some nice opportunities. Now, intraday, I think the market has been giving us some really nice setups. On a swing basis, it's a little more aggravating here. So, let's see what happens right now. Yesterday, I talked about, I think, 5 scenarios, something like that. So the scenario that we just rip it higher, that looks like that'll have to wait a day if that's going to happen. The scenario that we just tank, okay, that's off the table. So right here, we had the push up, and then we had the close near the lows, and then after the close, S&P downgraded 37 banks or something like that. So we could get some weakness early on Wednesday, and I want to see how far we pull back here. I'm watching the 1175 number. This is not a real candle. All right, because the S&P 500 didn't open here and close there on Monday. It gapped. But the S&P cash doesn't really post gaps, so that's why it's a full candle. You want to look at the SPY to see the real action, but I do that in my S&P video. Anyway, I'm looking for the 1175 number to get a pullback from here, about 20 points. Give or take. I mean, it's not an exact number, so just use that zone. Start looking, I guess, 1179 down, all right? But I'm watching 1175 as a pivot number. I want to see if we pull back with not horrendous volume and see if we can get a pivot off there and if the bulls can try to push it back up. If not, and we're just going to continue to trade down, then the next scenario would be a potential double bottom with these lows. And, of course, if they broke, then I'm watching this 1121.40 number. All right, so that's the roadmap that I'm watching for now. NASDAQ 100, that's what closed down on the day, hit the 10-day moving average. So now we have a gap here, we have a gap here. Who's going to get filled first? All right, because one of them will, right? All right, Russell. Okay, Russell, into the 50-day, a little doji there. So let's see what happens. If this pulls back, go through the indexes quick, but there's really not a lot to look at here. The semiconductors down a little bit with the NASDAQ. Banks, we'll have to wait and see what happens Wednesday because of the downgrade. All right, so Bank of America, JP Morgan, Citigroup, have to wait and see on them. All right, see if Bank of America is going to plunge through the 5 handle. Let's look at healthcare. Okay, healthcare had an okay day, up nearly 1.5%. See if it can get up to test these highs up here. Look at Aetna. Okay, trying back over the moving averages here. Okay, WellPoint needs some work. Got the 200-day above to watch out for. Here's United Health Group. Okay, watch the moving averages here. All right, what was the other one? HealthNet. Okay, so health net approaching potential breakout here. All right, let's look at the cyclicals. Yeah, into the 50-day, but it's not much going on there. XLB. Get to AA, Alcoa. Yeah, it's not looking so nice here. Potential double bottom, I guess, but yeah, it's just not looking so hot here. So let's see. First thing I got to do is get above those moving averages. Maybe it wants to retest down the lows, down towards the lows there. We'll see. That sets up. Caterpillar. Yeah, right at the 20. Right at the 20 EMA and the 10-day moving average. You got the gap here as potential support. GLD. Nothing. SLV. I'm reading conflicting. This is, I'm not great with the fundamental stuff and the geopolitical stuff and what affects what, but I'm reading one view is that gold and silver, if the euro collapses or gets bailed out, gold and silver will rally. That's what I'm reading. All right. Speaking of the euro, well, let's go to oil first. Here's the OIL. It's trying here. All right, held the 20. It's trying. See if we can get a retest up to these highs up there. OIH, 50-day moving average. Rejected that. Okay. Here's the euro. We'll look at the euro versus the dollar. I mean, to me, this looks like a small stealth flag. Looks like it wants to retest these lows down here. And then after the doji that it formed on Tuesday. All right, Amazon. Yeah, I mean, almost, gave back. It looks like half of what it gained on Monday. Not quite, though. All right, let's see. No, not quite, but that was not nice looking. Apple, not as bad. Google, yeah, tried to break and then rejected. So, I mean, I could go through a couple more, but to me, it's, let's look at the market, watch the market first, see if that retracement is just going to lead to new relative lows or it's going to hold on a retest, and see if they could try to get us a bounce here into the end of the month / beginning of December. Okay, fund managers still have to chase performance. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to go higher, okay? But definitely something to keep in the back of your plan, along with the seasonality, the Santa Claus rally, the January effect, all that good stuff, right? All right, have a great trading day on Wednesday. Talk to everybody again on Thursday.